Subject name Operating System. Assignment 1. Subject code 19UIT 304. Course instructor Respected Mrs. S. Ratnamala, Assistant Professor of Information Technology. Submitted by A. Prema, T.S. Subiksha.
My name is A. Prema. I am from Sedu Institute of Technology, IT department. Priority scheduling algorithm. The priority scheduling algorithm either be preemptive or non-preemptive. Now we can see non-preemptive method. These are the 5 process P1, P2, P3, P4, P5. Their respective burst time and priority are given in the table. According to the priority scheduling algorithm, process having the highest priority will get the CPU first. In our example, process P3 has the highest priority. That is, the priority is based on ascending to descending order. So P3 will be selected first for execution. The waiting time of P3 will be 0. It will execute 5 milliseconds. That is the burst time of P3. After the next highest priority process is P4. The waiting time of P4 is the execution time of P3. Then the execution time of P4 is waiting time plus burst time. 5 plus 7 is equal to 12. The next turn is for process P2. The waiting time of P2 will be the execution time of P4, that is 12. Then the execution time of P2 is the waiting time of P2 and the burst time of P2. 12 plus 4 is equal to 16. Next turn is for process P5. The waiting time of P5 will be the execution time of P2, that is 16. Then the execution time of P5 is the waiting time of P5 and the burst time of P5. 16 plus 3 is equal to 19. Final process P1. The waiting time of P1 will be the execution time of P5, that is 19. Then the execution time of P1 is 19 plus 9 is equal to 28. As you can see in the Gantt chart that the process are given burst time just on the basis of priorities. Hence we can see the average waiting time and average turnaround time. First we see waiting time. The waiting time of P3 is 0. The waiting time of P4 is 5. The waiting time of P2 is 12. The waiting time of P5 is 16. The waiting time of P1 is 19. We calculate the sum of the waiting time. The sum of the waiting time is 52. Average waiting time is equal to sum of the waiting time divided by total number of waiting time is equal to 10.4. Now we calculate turnaround time. Turnaround time is equal to waiting time plus burst time. Waiting time of P1 is equal to 19 plus burst time 9. P2 equal to 12 plus 4. P3 equal to 0 plus 5. P4 is equal to 5 plus 7. P5 is equal to 16 plus 3. These are the waiting time plus burst time. 19 plus 9 is equal to 28. 12 plus 4 is equal to 16. 0 plus 5 is equal to 5. 5 plus 7 is equal to 12. 16 plus 3 is equal to 19. Sum of the turnaround time is equal to 80. Average turnaround time is equal to sum of the turnaround time divided by total number of turnaround time. Therefore, the average turnaround time is equal to 16.
Warm greetings to all. I am Subiksha from IT department. Now we are going to see about non-primitive scheduling method. In this type of non-primitive scheduling method, the CPU has been allocated to the specific process. The process keeps the CPU busy. Will release the CPU either by switching context or terminating. It is the only method that can be used for various hardware platforms. That's because it doesn't need specific hardware. For example, a timer, like primitive scheduling, a CPU algorithm that schedules processes based on priority. It is used in operating system for performing batch processes. If a job having the same priority are ready, it works on first come first server base. In priority scheduling, a number is assigned to each process that indicates its priority level. Lower the number, higher is a priority. In this type of scheduling algorithm, if a newer process arrives that is having a higher priority than the currently running processes, then the currently running process is preempt.